Coming into this series, Jays fans, we're not very positive right now, and rightfully so. And the Blue Jays last night started this pivotal 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles off horrendously, losing 7-3 at Rogers Center, and now falling to 61-53 now on the year. Yusei Kikuchi got the start, which is already scary. In a sense, you have Ross Stripling back, and Mitch White pitched good in his last outing against Cleveland. So if I'm the Jays with Ross Stripling healthy, you got all 5 guys, right? Gausman, Manoah, Barrios. Even though we know how that's going, but you got to keep starting him. Mitch White and Ross Stripling. You move Kikuchi, don't you, to the pen or something? I don't know. Because right now, Kikuchi is struggling. Now, honestly, I will back him up in this. I didn't think he pitched terrible yesterday. All right? The line suggests he didn't pitch very well. But I will go through his start right now. Top of the first inning. First batter of the ball game. Mike McKenna. Anyways, it's a pop-up. And the way the things are going right now for the Blue Jays, right off the bat, everyone's like, that's probably going to drop in. And Vladdy, he hightailed it to this ball right behind him, kind of swiped at it, missed it. And, I'm not saying he should have made that catch because that's a very, very difficult play to make. Not only is it an over-shoulder, basically a basket catch, that thing is in full sprint mode. So that is very difficult to make. He doesn't make the play, but he has the wherewithal to get up and fire the ball to second because McKenna's taken off. And at one hops Bo Bichette, and he doesn't make the play. If Bo gets that ball, McKenna's out at second base. But he does not. And we'll get to Bo Bichette in a bit. I think there's going to be a lot more conversations about this. By the way, shout out to the Baltimore Orioles, man. Honestly, I don't like giving credit to the other team because I'm obviously a Jays fan. When my team loses to a team, I don't like to say, oh, good game. No, but you know what? They're an inspired ball club right now. They're playing some really good ball. They have great pitch. This is the thing. You watch the way they play. Pitching, defense, timely hits. And they've been doing it. Their bullpen's phenomenal. They're starting pitching. Look, name-wise, no one basically knows any of the pitchers. Yet they're pitching well. At least against the Blue Jays, they're pitching extremely well. And offensively, they're finding a way to score runs. And they're making you pay for mistakes. Kikuchi does a good job getting the next batter with Anthony Santander. It's an RBI single up the middle, scoring McKenna, and the Jays are down 1-0. And he does a really good job in the second inning. Limiting, they get nothing in the second, and we're like, okay, good stuff, right? You can't fault him for that first inning. And he's pounding the strike zone early. They said 6 of the first 7 batters he has an 0-2 count against. So we're like, wow, that's pretty damn good. And he was dealing early on. But then we get to the third, okay? And I think he's a 2-out walk, I believe. And then Ryan Mountcastle, the Jays killer, hits a 2-run shot off of Kikuchi. And, walks do come back to kill you, Kikuchi. They seem to, the walks and the long ball have just destroyed him this year. And the walk and the home run, you're down 3-0 now. However, and this is where I get frustrated with this Blue Jays team. We talked about it yesterday, or I guess a couple days ago. The inability to string hits together has been a thing. You can get 2 guys on, but then you get nothing out of it. Or you can get a second and third, 1 out, looking to break something open, and all you get is a sac fly or a ground out, right? And it's just those type of things really pain me. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Your number 9 hitter, Danny Jansen, leads off with a 4-pitch walk. Then George Springer doubles to left field. They're at second and third, nobody out. An incredible at-bat from Vladdy down 0-2, ends up walking. It's bases loaded, nobody out. We're like, man, this is your chance to break this game open and get your mojo back. Gurriel hits a 2-run single. It's a 1-run ball game. We still have first and second, nobody out still. And I'm like, this is it. The boys have found it. They've gotten 4 straight guys have reached base. They've had some good at-bats. I'm like, this is exactly what we needed right now. But what happens after that? You have an opportunity to score, runner in scoring position, run a guy at second base, first and second, nobody out. A chance here to either tie, take the lead, or, like I said, blow this game open. You've got this guy in the ropes. He's definitely not feeling it right now. Teo strikes out, and Bo grounds into a double play, I believe. and the inning is over. Just a complete rally killer. And I hate the people that are like, well, at least they scored 2 runs and they're back in the game. No, when you have a team against the ropes, when you're already down 3-0 and you have an opportunity with 2 on and nobody out to drive in the tying run. Heck, if you knocked it into right field and one of the guys, who was it, second base, Vladdy, goes to third, right? Okay, then sac fly. Then we got a tie game. So you have the 2-run single and then some small ball. You got 3 runs in the continued ball game. But no, with 2 on and nobody out, nobody moves. And it destroys it. Because next half inning, and it's a comedy of things, then Tyler Nevin reaches on an infield single because just, of course, right, blooper infield single, Mateo ends up scoring on the play. But how did Mateo get on? And this is the problem that I am having with this Jays team. We've talked about it over and over, Jays fans. All year long, the last few years, we've been saying pitching and defense wins you games, right? We've seen it. Why were the Cleveland Guardians such a good team? Pitching and defense. They have great pitching, and we saw how sparkling they were defensively. And they got enough offense to win 2-3 at Rogers Center. Baltimore Orioles, they had good pitching. I'm not sure about their defensive numbers, but they seem to be just fine. And they're getting the timely hits. And they're winning ball games. Meanwhile, Kikuchi strikes out the first guy in the inning in the fourth. And we're like, okay, man, this guy's... Look, he gave up the 2-run shot. You know, it's a 3-2 ball game. But hey, throw up a 0 here, Kikuchi. We're not asking Kikuchi to go 6 shutout innings. Let's be honest here, Jays fans, because that's not going to happen. But if he can give us like 5 or 6 innings, a 3-run ball, I will take that in a heartbeat. And he gets a strikeout in the top of the 4th inning. We're like, all right, good start. But then Mateo gets on because of a Bichette throwing error. And then the wheels fall off. Right? Obviously, Nevin reached on the infield single. Mateo scores. Then McKenna hits an RBI double. Vavra scores. Then Ali Rutchin hits a sacrifice fly. Phillips scores. And just like that 3-2 ball game with possibly 2 out and nobody on leads to a 3-run inning in that 1-run deficit, right? You just got that back. You just got that deficit down to 1. It is now back up, and it's now 4. You're down 6-2. Pitching and defense will win you games. But when you're having guys make errors, like Bo did there, he did. Look, I'm not attacking him, but the conversations have been there this season. We know he hasn't been the greatest with the bat. We all know it. But that play in the first, I'm not saying it was an easy play because Vladdy fires that thing full speed on a bounce. That thing is tough to make. But if you're going to be, a shortstop asking for $200 million, what the hell he's going to ask for, you got to make a play like that. And then you know your pitcher ain't great in Yusei Kikuchi. You know his mental state is a disaster. And then after he gets a strikeout, he's feeling good. Then the error happens behind him. You cannot commit errors with him on the hill, especially him. But you do, it unravels, and you're down 6-2. Then the top of the 5th inning, when you're throwing out garbage pitchers, right? Trevor Richards gives him a sacrifice fly. Ryan Mountcastle scores. And then Vladdy in the bottom of the 5th, it's a solo bomb. What we do, it's now 7-3. And that's all she wrote. Offensively, George Springer, great to see him back. They needed the spark. They got the spark. Just wasn't enough. 2 for 4 with the run scored. And he walked one. It's going to miss 3 of the 5 times that he came to the dish. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. just continues to hit extremely well. 2 for 4 in the game. Had 2 RBIs. The big 2-run single there in that bottom of the 3rd to hopefully propel the rally, which didn't happen. Bo went 1 for 3 and walked once. Doesn't really mean much. 8 hits total for the Jays. 9 strikeouts. Walked 5 times. They had a decent approach early in the game, but then when it unraveled, it was gone. Yusei Kikuchi went 3 1/3, allowed 4 hits, 6 runs allowed. Only 3 were earned because of Bo's error. 3 strikeouts. He still walked 3 guys, though. I wouldn't say it was his awful start, but defense didn't help him yesterday. And that's starting to become a theme. The pitching and defense has been pretty bad. Gosman wasn't great in his last outing. For God's sakes, the last great start was Mitch White, for God's sake. Mitch White, of all people. But he's done fantastic. Trevor Richards went an inning and 2/3, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, walked 2 guys, and got a strikeout. So the Jays in that combined, 5 innings, 5 walks. It's not good. Trent Thornton gave you 2 shutout innings, struck out 3 guys, and walked the batter. Zach Pop continues to sparkle as a Blue Jay. Went an inning, allowed 1 hit. That was it. Adam Simber went an inning, allowed a couple hits, got a strikeout, no runs crossed, and that's all she wrote. I needed to let out the Bichette thoughts because I've been seeing a lot on social media and seeing what I saw yesterday. It's just tough. It just really is tough. Alek Manoah gets a ball tonight, and you'll probably notice, well, Bautista's up there. You know why I put him up there? Because that's an approach at the plate that I want this team to have. Go back and watch Jose Bautista. That approach at the plate was calm, cool, collected, and he did a job. I got my Manoah stuff on today because, for one, I'm going to be going to the game, and number two, he's on the bump. We need it. I tried changing something up. I haven't changed things in a while, but I needed to mentally. And I'm hoping something happens here, guys, because game and a half up on the Orioles. We're now in the third wild card spot. Time's ticking. You go here and you lose these 2 games to the Orioles, you are looking on the you're on the outside in, looking in on the playoffs. You win these next 2 games, we're talking a little different. They got to do a job and win a damn ball game. You know, we need Manoah to give us more than 5 innings because I don't think any of our pitchers have gone more than 4. Or I guess Mitch White went in 4 2/3. Nobody's done 5 innings in like the last 4 outings, 4 or 5 starts. Manoah needs it. We need to get something out of him today. Dean Kramer gets the ball for the Orioles, and he's been pretty damn good this year. But that might be a good thing for the Jays. They faced a guy like Bradish and don't light him up yesterday after seeing him just a week ago. So you think to be fresh in their mind, evidently not. And Dean Kramer, where they were supposed to face on the rainout day, that didn't happen. They're facing him tonight. Manoah, Kramer, 7:07 first pitch there at Rogers Center. Right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and not the ball game last night, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already, comment down below. Thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game last night. Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition, of course, tonight. I'll be at the game, obviously, so that video will be uploaded later than usual, but it will, I promise you, it will be uploaded tonight. Between the Jays and the Orioles, Game 2, the 3-game set at Rogers Center, Alek Manoah, Dean Kramer is the pitching matchup there. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and not the ball game yesterday. We'll talk to you guys then.